you see this guy right here holding that belt right there? He needs to be kicked out of boxing. That's right. Whoever's on his board, y'all need to stop Mauricio. He is ruining the sport of boxing more than it's already been ruined. Nobody cares about the Bridgerweight. The one guy that y'all wanted to be the front runner, the one guy that y'all wanted to hand the belt to said no. That was Deontay Wilder. He turned it down. And with that, that belt should have been turned down, period, across the board. With that being said, before we get into the video, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscription, hit the bell. You know what to do. Now, here's the deal. This is bullshit. All right. I believe it's 200 to 220 pounds is a Bridgerweight champion weight class. Okay. Bullshit. If you're over 200 pounds, you're a heavyweight. It's always been that way. And it always should be that way. If there are certain guys in boxing that have issues with guys being too big, then petition for a heavier weight class. Say a 290 plus, a 300 plus, a 280 plus, whatever. But to come in between and create something that's never been there is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Who the fuck wants to be a Bridgerweight champion at 220 pounds? No, you want to be the heavyweight champion. Period. The only reason why, to my knowledge, the only one who thought of this stupid ass idea was Tony Ungutted Bellew. Like, this dude's still crying that he got his fucking ass whooped, and he got his ass whooped by a cruiserweight in Usyk. Bruh, get the fuck out of boxing too. I don't care. These dumbass ideas, like, again, let me restate this. Deontay Wilder turned the belt down when they came to him with this notion of this title. He laughed at it. Just like he laughed at franchise. Sorry, y'all, I don't know why I keep yawning. Just like he laughed at franchise. He said he's not no franchise champion. He's not going to take that. He's the real champion. The real champion. Let me say that one more time for those who think the franchise is a real belt. Even Deontay Wilder said the real champion. So again, it's nothing but a money grab for Mauricio, for the WBC, to try to create something to where they can get more sanctioning fees. Because that's what it comes down to. They're trying to get another champion in another weight class to get more money. I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. At this point, I really believe another organization could come in, make themselves a real fucking belt, make themselves have real top 10 fighters, make themselves have real mandatories that have to be fulfilled, and just ruin the other belts. Because at this point, I'm starting to agree with Tyson Fury. They're just trinkets. They, especially the WBC. Especially. I can't stop yawning, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's just bullshit. Like, anybody who supports this, you shouldn't support. Any fighter who fights for this belt, you shouldn't support. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to support this bullshit. Like I said, if they wanted to make a super heavyweight, go for it. Be my guest. Guys are getting taller and bigger. Okay, if you feel like that's needed, then go for it. But to create a belt and say the weight class of where a Mike Tyson, one of the most devastating, feared men on the planet when he was fighting boxers, he would have been a cruiserweight. Excuse me, a Bridgerweight. I'm sorry. He would have been a Bridgerweight. He wouldn't even have been a heavyweight. So we would have never had Mike Tyson as a heavyweight if Bridgerweight would have existed. He may have very well have fought at Bridgerweight. Trash. Trash. I really hope none of the other sanctioning bodies get on board with this. WBA, WBO, IBF. I hope they don't get on board with this because it's bullshit. And I'm sorry. Everybody knows Mauricio is nothing about money grabs. Making interim champions where interim champions don't belong. That's right. I'll call out Ryan Garcia real fast. There is no reason. In fact, if you don't know what interim is, I've said it so many times on my channels, other people's channels. If you don't know what it is, go fucking look up what an interim champion is. And then you'll realize that Ryan Garcia shouldn't even be an interim. But see, the thing about it is, when you make a fake interim champion, you get money. When you make a fake franchise belt, you get money. Then you got the real champion and you're getting money. So when you've got 3 guys that you're getting the same amount of money from for the same belt, because that's what it is. All 3 are the same belt. So they're getting full sanctioning fees for the same belt from 3 different people versus getting it from one person who had the belt. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm telling y'all right now, if I was fighting in the professionals, if I was a professional fighter and I had more than one heavyweight title, not heavyweight title, let's just say title in general. If I had more than one title, the WBC / WBO or WBA or IBF, I would drop the WBC. I would drop it. I would delegitimize it, period, until they get their shit together. I would straight drop it and keep my other title just so people couldn't dodge me. That's what I would do. It would be mighty funny if a lot of these unified champions just dropped the WBC belt and said, no, we're not going to fight for this fake-ass organization no more until they get their shit together. The belt was once good, but the days of Ali are long past. It's no longer the most prestigious belt in boxing. In fact, Mauricio has made the belt a joke of boxing. It is a fucking joke organization. You got guys who haven't fought in 2 years. 2 years. They come back and they're mandatories. Yildirim versus Canelo. We saw how that turned out because Yildirim was out of the ring so long that he had no business being in the ring with Canelo. It doesn't matter how he looked at one point in time. The fact of the matter is, time moves on. And if you're not in it, it moves on without you. And that's what it did. And it showed in the ring. Yildirim was completely outclassed, which everybody knew was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Everybody knew Canelo was going to knock him out. It was just picking the round. The WBC has no consistency. The WBC is trash. They are trash. I'm sorry, they have become trash. That's just what it is. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if Mauricio was on my channel, on a live with me, on an interview with me. I would tell him the same thing, that you're ruining the fucking sport with this bullshit. The sport is already no longer a top 10 global sport. That just happened because of shit like this. It's not going to make it more exciting to get guys who are heavyweights now trying to diet down to 220. They're cutting weight so they can have an advantage because you're going to have the same motherfuckers at Bridgerweight that you got at heavyweight. That's what this idiot doesn't understand. That if you make it a 220 cap, then you're going to have guys who are 250 dropping down to 220, and they're going to be every bit of 240, 245 by fight night. It's going to be the same shit that happens in the normal weight classes. So now you're going to have what they would consider true heavyweights beating up the cruiserweights. The Bridgerweights. I keep saying cruiserweight because it's always been the weight class below heavyweight, but it's Bridgerweight. That's why I keep making the mistake of saying cruiserweight. You're going to have true heavyweights cutting weight and fighting at Bridgerweight. Then you're going to have a heavyweight title and a Bridgerweight title. Why? Because the same big dudes that you were trying to keep them away from are just cutting a little bit of weight, going down there, and then going back up. And I say a little bit of weight because here's what people don't understand. The bigger, the heavier you get, the easier it is for you to cut weight more comfortably. The bigger, the heavier you are, the easier it is for you to cut weight more comfortably. So whereas a guy at 122 pounds might struggle getting to 122 pounds, say he walks around at 140, it's going to be a lot easier for a guy at 250 to get to 220 than it is for that 140 guy to get to 122. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier. Hell of a lot easier. And that's what these idiots don't understand. You're not circumventing the problem. You're just making more of a problem. More of a problem. It's trash. I'm done rambling. I don't even know if people will make it this far. But a Bridgerweight is trash. I'll never buy a Bridgerweight. I'll never cover a Bridgerweight. I'll never even talk about a Bridgerweight champion. because it's not fucking legitimate, and I will not support it. And I'm telling y'all right now, the way things have been going with boxing, every day that goes by, because for the first time I've actually put up some UFC stuff, I'm going to slowly start transitioning over to MMA, learning it a little bit better so I can actually give a more thorough breakdown of what's going on versus just saying who won the fights. Because I don't understand this scoring system. And as boxing does more and more like this, I'm going to be transitioning more and more towards MMA because I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of fighters not being forced to fight. I'm tired of not seeing the best get in there with the best. At least Dana White keeps the best fighting the best at all times. At all times. It's the number one guy versus their champion. That's it. That's all you get. And if you've got guys who can be undefeated, then they're truly the best. They're not guys who have built a record off of cab drivers, Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, fucking DoorDash drivers. That's not what they built their record off of. They built their record off of beating the number one guy every fight, like old boxers used to do. So again, that's how I feel about it. The WBC is making a mockery of the sport. It continues to make a mockery of the sport, and it is ruining the sport. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section if y'all made it past my ranting. Thank y'all for watching.